Hello, and welcome to today's edition of Taxtixs. So for those of you that have joined us before, you will know that this is really a forum to talk about tax developments. So that might be case law that's come out or changes in HMRC policy that might affect you and your business. But today we've got a slight change in tactic. We are joined by Matt King, heads up our wealth management team. And Matt is going to be talking us through the scenario where, okay, you've generated your wealth either through your business or employment. And so how best to invest that to get the best returns. And with the start of a new tax year, it feels like a great time to be addressing these issues and questions. So Matt, over to you. We're at the start of a new tax year. Is this a good time to be thinking about things, and what should we be thinking about?
Yeah, a start of a new tax year is effectively a reset for all of your personal allowances. It's a great time to look back at the previous year and then equally give you the opportunity to look forwards in terms of what can you contribute to the different tax wrappers available to you to enhance your personal wealth accumulation phase. So it's a good time to reset. It equally gives you the opportunity of 12 months of investment growth rather than waiting till the 11th hour within the tax year to get your finances organized. We try and encourage clients to assess those needs from the 6th of April, the very first day of the tax year. It gives you ample opportunity to prepare yourself and you benefit from longer opportunities in the market.
Great. Okay. Yeah, I think we're probably all a bit guilty of the last minute doc.
It happens far too often.
Yeah.
And you can encourage people along the way, but it's human nature. We do tend to defer these big decisions and try and put them off until we're concrete on them. And that's where we assist clients with getting them to that point where they feel comfortable and confident with these decisions if they can act. And they're not waiting for the looming deadlines to make these decisions.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess one of the key ones to think about is ISA allowances, because those have just reset. So as individuals, what do we need to be thinking about?
Yeah, definitely. There is an ISA, an individual savings account. I believe it's one of the best investment products available. Quite straightforward. A quick refresh on the allowances. Each individual has £20,000 per tax year. It's over 18-year-olds to invest into an ISA, whether that be a stocks and shares ISA or a cash ISA. Now, any investment growth within that ISA is free from capital gains tax. And then when you seek to withdraw the funds, there's no income tax to pay or exit penalties. So it becomes a very effective pot to accumulate wealth as you're in your accumulation phase. So it's one that we encourage clients to use where suitable. And it can blend very well alongside other tax wrappers such as pensions or bonds, for example, especially important when it comes to retirement, because individuals may seek to be drawing funds from a pension, which is taxable. And then they may be at the threshold where you start paying higher rates or additional rate tax and don't want to go into that barrier or that threshold. So an ISA is a very good complementary source of income. It doesn't expose you to further higher rates of tax.
Great. Okay. So a good different pot to dip into.
Indeed. As I said, the earlier you start, the more opportunity you give the investments to compound. And that's really where it comes into its own. So it's a great vehicle for your own savings, but also for your family. Under 18-year-olds have something available to them called a junior ISA. Now, the allowance for that is £9,000 per tax year. So you can have a newborn child, 1 or 2 days old, and open a junior ISA for them. If you're fortunate enough to be able to contribute £9,000 per tax year, invest it suitably, at the age of 18, that child, now adult, is going to have a substantial pot that they could use for university, car, holiday, whatever they fancy, really. And that's the key part that I have to remind clients is when they turn 18, it's their money. We really encourage clients and families to have conversations openly about money, really. It's one, I think the UK has this nature of being a bit taboo to talk about money, and we try and break that barrier down. The more education you have, the better you're going to be able to manage your finances. So you have an objective in mind, whether you're putting this money aside for a house or university. Educate your children as early as you can. I'm not saying you have the conversation when they're 1 or 2 days old, but maybe when they start thinking about what they want to do with their life. That tends to happen about 16, 17, when we're planning the future. But you've put this money aside for them to enable them to do what they want to do in the future.
Yeah. And I guess more important with university fees and so on, just to have that nest.
Yeah, it's really good. And it really want to highlight the need of, it's a long-term investment. There's certainly the junior ISA, you've got an 18-year window there before they're able to access it. So it's really about allocating the capital into a suitable investment and trying to just, as a common phrase in our world, it's time in the market rather than timing the market. And if you have cash that you're prepared to invest, but you're waiting to find the right time to invest it, that can often penalize you. It's quite difficult to time the market. It's more getting in investors and letting the investments do what they're
Do their
intended to
thing.
do.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. Thank you. And then I think something that we all sort of shy away from a bit and perhaps bury our head in the sand, or maybe that's just me, is pensions and pension contributions. So what should we know about that?
Yeah.
What's the best thing to do there, please?
I mean, definitely, it's very commonplace that people do put pensions off. And I think that's because they are a very long-term investment. People think we've got so long before we can access a pension.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'll deal with it later on. And that can really impact your what the lifespan of the pension when you do decide to draw down on it. So again, that's a point of conversation that we encourage clients to do, is to see where their pension savings are. And as young as you can be, picture the retirement that you want to have. What level of income do you want to do or want to have? And then we can work backwards. What is a suitable level of contribution to be able to get you to that end destination?
Yeah.
So a pension is one of the most tax efficient. I touched on that with ISAs and where I think it plays partly a role. The benefit with a pension is you get upfront tax relief. So an individual can make a personal saving. And if there's the pension operates what's called a tax relief or source scheme, that pension contribution is topped up by 20% by the government immediately. So there aren't many other investments where you get a top up by the government.
Yeah, fantastic,
so
isn't it?
It's really there to encourage people to save for their retirement. But another benefit of the pension, alongside the tax relief you get at the outset, is the capital gain is free from tax as well. So again, with a junior ISA has an 18-year window, a pension could have 30, maybe 40 years before you're able to access it.
It's a significant gain potentially. Hopefully.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as you're invested suitably and in the right strategy, 40 years of investment growth, you're going to have some large compounded returns there. So it's important that you make these contributions and you realize where the contributions are going to in terms of what the investment strategy is, and making that align to what your end goal is, as far away as that may be for some.
Yeah. It's not comfortable conversation, but it's an important one, isn't it?
It is. And the recent changes within pensions is from next tax year, April 27, pensions will be included within individuals' estates for inheritance tax calculations.
Which is quite
it's a big change. It's a big change.
Yeah.
And it has changed a lot of plans that we've put out for clients over the years. But try to understand the rationale behind the Chancellor's decision to do so. And a pension is there to provide an income for retirement. It wasn't intended to be a transfer of wealth to the next generation. So in one part of me disagrees with what she does, has changed, but the other part of me thinks it is probably for the good. It's there to provide income. So we have reassessed the strategy and we now encourage clients to spend it, because the top rate of tax, should an individual pass away with unused pension benefits and their beneficiaries be an additional rate taxpayer, that pension that tax on the pension could be as high as 67%. So that's something that engages customers and clients to assess and decide what route they want to take.
Yes. Definitely spend it while you're around there.
Yeah, not to mention as well, it benefit, again, we'll keep talking about the use of pensions as well, but once you're in your earning phase, and let's say you may be self-employed, or you may have a really good year one year with your employer, and then you maybe got a lesser year, or vice versa. There's an allowance within pensions called carry forward allowance. Now that enables individuals to use unused annual allowances from the previous 3 tax years. So a quick reminder, Kelly, is what an annual allowance is. An annual allowance is the maximum you can contribute to a pension to obtain tax relief. So for individuals, that's £60,000. So you can contribute up to £60,000. Should you want to contribute more than that, and you have unused annual allowance from the previous tax years, you can carry forward that. So there's a possibility where you could end up contributing into your pension a couple of £100,000, which for some people would be a big change to them. So it's about, again, the annual review part is something that's really important in my role. And we assess individual circumstances every year, see what's changed, what opportunities are available and what allowances are still unused within the pension world. That's a key point to have a look at, see what you've contributed, see what available cash you will be able to contribute. And you'll get the tax relief as well, subject to your earnings being to the same level.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. I mean, reviews are great. I know that you always say that whatever an individual is doing, you could probably improve that.
Yeah, I'm yet to find a set
Yeah.
of circumstances that can't be improved, whether that be a change of investment strategy or a reduction of cost. And there's one thing that um, pension or investment providers come and go. We've seen a lot of mergers and acquisitions of late.
Yeah.
And that competition drives, competition. It enables companies to, or drives companies to try and win market share by reducing their fees. We've gone through an era of technology. It's now more cost effective to provide similar services than what were available in the past. A reduction in cost by having a look, assessing what's available in the market.
Yeah.
I won't say it's as quick as when you look for your car insurance each year, but
Yeah.
it's worth reviewing
Yeah.
understandably, because you can make a discount or improve what you've got.
So because of that M&A activity, it's a buyer's market or investor's market. If you like.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, that we there's unlikely going to be a monopoly. We have protections in place in this country such that there's not going to end up with a monopoly of one pension provider providing the whole country's pension benefits. So I think if that continues, and I hope that it does continue, that there'll always be a selection available that best suits the individuals or the business.
Thank you. And then I guess just more broadly then, beyond ISAs and pensions, are there any other tax efficient strategies that you think are worthwhile to bring to the attention of our listeners?
Yes, I mean, there are various ways to invest and various ways to save and gift if you're planning some inheritance tax. Very simple one is an annual exemption for gifting. You have £3,000 per tax year that you can gift. I've touched on the junior ISAs. There's also a junior SIP. Now that's a pension for, again, children. It starts as children and will convert to a pension when they turn 18. So that we talked about the 18-year investment window for an ISA. A junior SIP could be 60 years. Current pension access age at the moment will be 57. I'm not a skeptic, but I expect that age to go up as the years go by.
Yeah.
Throw a 60-year time frame in the mix there, because that's personally what I believe will. But alongside that, if individuals want to contribute more to their annual allowance that I touched on earlier, there are other investment vehicles that may be suitable. Something called a venture capital trust, VCT. Now that is a government-backed incentive scheme to encourage investors to invest in early stage UK companies. For taking that risk by investing in early stage companies, HMRC rewards you with a tax relief. You have an annual allowance of £200,000 per tax year for a VCT, and currently, actually, it's recently been reduced, but the tax relief on that is now 20%. So you make £100,000 contribution into a VCT scheme, you get £20,000 off your income tax bill.
Wow.
So for those high earners and those with more disposable income that are looking to invest, capital trust could be a suitable destination for that money. So yeah, I would encourage individuals to assess where they're at, what allowances are available.
And I guess it depends on the risk appetite and the amount of disposable income that each individual has as to what they want to invest in.
Yes, indeed. That's where my role comes in, Kelly, is that we assess a client's objective and where do they want to be in any given time frame, and then understanding that risk and that reward potential. Is it best allocated to this investment, or should it be reserved for the short-term goal in mind? So we view clients' circumstances holistically. So we're not just focused on a pension or just focused on an ISA. We view the whole circumstance in its entirety to ensure you're not overexposed to any one risk. I mean, we've seen tax changes in the past, and I'm sure we're going to see some more.
Oh yeah.
So you don't want to be all in one, having all your eggs in one basket, as the saying goes, such that if tax changes go against your lifetime of planning, that you've got something else to fall back on. So it's about diversification, and that's one word that I will keep saying till I'm blue in the face. Diversification is paramount to everything that we do, whether it's investment products, investment selection itself, or a combination of it all. So it's key to all that we do.
Thank you. Well, that's certainly been enlightening to me, and thank you very much, Matt. yeah, so hopefully that's been enjoyable for you listeners. Of course, if you'd like more information, please head to our website and you can obviously set up a meeting with Matt if that's of interest. But otherwise, look forward to you joining us again at the next text. Thank you very much.